It can be pretty frustrating to have the challenge I do and still have to deal with people's mean behavior. I ask myself many times, can't people just be kind or civil at the very least? My name is Folake. I was born with congenital kyphosis, which is the medical term for a hunchback. I was born in a village to semi-literate parents. When they noticed the condition, they took me to traditional bone setters who did what they could to help me straighten out a bit. I was told that the curvature would have been much worse than it was, even though it was quite severe. I was the second of my parents' 3 children, and in spite of my disability, they did not treat me differently from others. I got to do my own share of work and chores around the house, and I got sent on errands just like everyone else. Even though they did not have the opportunity to go beyond primary school themselves, they worked to ensure that my older sister, my younger brother, and I had a good education. Going to school in our village was the toughest part of growing up. The other children in school ostracized me and made fun of me. In the early days, I would go home crying to my mother, but I quickly learned that it was futile because she would not pander to my sorrow. Rather, my mother would tell me that those children had every right to say what they did because I indeed looked funny and different from everyone else. However, she would add, the only way I could shut them up was to become better than them in as many ways as I could, so that they would know that the physical challenge was not a setback for me. It was very hard, but I soon learned that it was the truth, and I took it to heart from then on. I started to pay so much attention to my academics that I led my classes from primary 3 all the way through the rest of primary school, and I won a scholarship from the king of our hometown to go to secondary school outside the village. It was a boarding school, and once again, the mockery was brutal at first, but I applied my mother's words, and very soon I was leading my class again. Apart from my academics, I also joined the school's literary and debating club, and I represented my school at several competitions and won. Wherever I went, the reaction was the same: mockery and then quiet respect when I outperformed everyone else. I became somewhat of a legend in my school, more so because I was a science student who also excelled at arts like public speaking or debates and fine art. My plan was to become a doctor to help children who were born with conditions like mine. Experience had taught me that I could become anything I put my mind to be. I had one of the best JAMB results in my school, and without force, I was admitted to study medicine on merit. I did not even need to use the disability quota to get a placement. My parents were so proud, as was the king of our hometown, because I was one of the few indigents who grew up locally and had such an achievement. He enlisted the support of some wealthy indigents, and they paid my way through medical school. The one thing I thought I would never be able to do was get married because of how people mocked me. I had learnt that I could earn people's respect by my achievements, but I always believed that no one would like me enough to want to marry a hunchback woman. I was wrong because I had not met Yinka. He was also a medical student, but a year ahead of me. He did not mince words the day he first spoke to me. He told me that he had always admired how confident I seemed, and when he asked some of his friends who were my classmates about me, they told him how smart and indomitable I was, and he wanted me to be his wife. He was in his final year at the time. We began talking, and eventually I agreed to start a relationship with him, and it was beautiful until I had to meet his family. It was the most difficult battle I ever faced in my life. Yinka came from a middle-class family where his father was a doctor and his mother was a teacher who owned a school. It was a double blow against me. Firstly, my disability, and secondly, my background. They were against our relationship from the start, and they fought hard. But Yinka stood by me, and he was insistent that it would be me or no one else. He is the firstborn and the only son of his parents. Eventually, they were forced to agree, but they have never hidden their disdain for me. Thankfully, they could not hold on to the fact that I was after his money or anything else because he made them aware of how brilliant and confident I was on my own. They have always maintained a respectable distance. We have been married for 17 years and we have 2 boys who are healthy and even athletic. I built my career in pediatric orthopedics alongside raising them. When I think back over my life and all the challenges I have faced, I thank God for my parents, especially my mother, who never let me wallow in spite of my disability, but taught me to fight back by showing the world what I could achieve. Please share your thoughts about Folake's story in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to my channel and to turn on that notification bell so you never miss any of my videos.